Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Thursday, March 9, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want to access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Ohio U versus Ball State. Both teams have had solid seasons, but Ohio University is in better form right now. The Bobcats are 7-2 in their last 9 games, while Ball State closed out the year just 1-4. Ohio also beat Ball State 76-71 in the previous matchup between these teams. Ohio University finished the season strong. The Bobcats have been much better in the second half of the year. Take Ohio. Both of these teams have defended at a very high level all year. Ball State is holding opponents to 43.8% from the field, and Ohio University has also played much better defense down the stretch of the season during their 7-2 run to end the year. Ball State is also 171 out of 363 teams in adjusted tempo this year, and the better team usually dictates pace on a neutral court. Take the under 152.5 points. George Mason versus St. Louis. While St. Louis earned a bye in the first 2 rounds, George Mason remained hot by picking up its 7th straight win on Wednesday afternoon. The Patriots have gone 6-1 ATS in that time span and have dug in defensively in that span, holding all 7 opponents under 70 points. In the first matchup with St. Louis on the road, the Patriots held the potent Billikens offense at bay and kept them under 70 points as well, and covered the plus 7.5 point spread. In addition, George Mason shot just over 50% from the free throw line in a 1-point game. Expect another tightly played game in this one, but I'm going with the hot teams. Take George Mason plus 3 points. I can't understand the logic of setting a total in the 140s between these two teams. Their only affair this season saw just 125 points. Furthermore, George Mason has an excellent defense, limiting opponents to just 100.9 points per 100 possessions, 87th. As for defensive shooting, they're holding the opposition to just a 42.2% field goal percentage, 75th. In terms of pace, the Patriots are sitting at 218th, using 66.6 possessions per 40 minutes. The Billikens play substantially quicker, using 69.4 possessions per 40 minutes, 85th. But, considering this is a tournament game, we should see the defenses rise to the challenge and win the day. Look for a moderately paced game here and for the total to stay under 140.5 points. Cal State Bakersfield versus UC Irvine. These teams just met less than a week ago with an 8-point difference. So what is the difference here? These offenses as of late show that they are similar, as Cal State Bakersfield is averaging 58 points in their last 5 games, while UC Irvine is scoring 64.7 points in their previous 3 games. On the defensive side of the floor lately, the ability to defend the 3-point line shows a difference, as the Roadrunners are giving up 24.5% from beyond the arc, while the Anteaters have a 23 opposing 3-point percentage thus far. The underdog has covered in 4 of the previous 5 games against one another, so go with the Roadrunners to cover, but the Anteaters to win outright. Our team pick is Cal State Bakersfield Roadrunners plus 11.5 points. The Roadrunners are going to be slowing the pace down even more, as they rank 346th in the sport with 65.8 possessions per game thus far, while the Anteaters are 131st in the nation with 71.2 possessions per game right now. These defenses have really locked down in the last 3 games, as Cal State Bakersfield is giving up 58.7 points per game, while UC Irvine is allowing 60.3 points per game in that span. The under has hit in 5 of the last 6 Roadrunners neutral site games, as well as in 4 of the previous 5 Anteaters games against teams with a sub 400 winning percentage, so go with under 130 points here. Pittsburgh versus Duke. This one is going to be an interesting clash, as Pitt can't be shaky on the defensive end of the floor as they were against Georgia Tech. The Panthers relied on their offensive prowess and the fact that the Yellow Jackets had no depth to speak of, as they played 4 of their starters for a full 40 minutes. Pitt has to get another big game from Federico, who had 19 points and 8 rebounds in the win Wednesday. The Blue Devils have been stellar defensively all season, and we saw their offense show signs of life down the stretch. Facing a porous Pitt defense is going to be a benefit for Shire's team. Look for Duke to pull away late and earn the win in this contest. Our team pick is Duke Blue Devils minus 4.5 points. Duke closed the regular season with 6 straight wins as they took down our rival North Carolina in the Dean Dome Saturday night. The Blue Devils entered this contest 23-8 overall, and they were 14-6 in the ACC in the regular season. Against North Carolina, Duke trailed by 5 early, led by as many as 6 in the first half and held a 2-point edge at intermission. The Blue Devils led by as many as 7 with 14:03 remaining, only to see the Tar Heels take a 57-56 lead with 1:57 to play. Duke regrouped on both ends, scoring the final 6 points of the game to secure the victory. The Blue Devils shot 37.9% from the field, including 4 of 13 from 3-point range, and held the Tar Heels to 30.4% from the floor in the game. Kyle Filipowski led Duke with 22 points and 13 rebounds in the win. Our total pick is over the total. Providence versus Connecticut. When diving into the assist-to-turnover ratio throughout the year, there is a bit of a difference, as the Huskies are 37th in the country with a 1.340 ratio, while the Friars are 61st in the nation with a 1.242 ratio thus far. These defenses are on 2 completely different levels as of late, with Providence giving up 82.8 points in their last 4 games, while UConn is allowing 65.6 points in their previous 5 games. All in all, go with the UConn Huskies to cover the spread and advance to the semifinals. These teams are closer to average in terms of pace this season, and expecting that amount of points is tough to reach, as Providence is 106th in the sport with 71.6 possessions per game, while UConn is 145th in the nation with 70.9 possessions per game thus far. Both programs are good but not great in terms of 3-point shooting, as the Friars are 103rd in the sport with a 35.5% from beyond the arc, while the Huskies are 96th in the country with a 35.6% from 3. The under has hit in the last 6 Friars neutral site games, as well as in 5 of the previous 6 Huskies games following an ATS win, so go with under 145.5 points here. Ohio State versus Iowa. The Cinderella story will continue for Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament. Their resume isn't good enough to get them into the NCAA field without winning this tournament, as they really have nothing to lose. They looked good against Wisconsin in the first round, and they have been playing their best hoops of the season so far. They have covered in their last 4 games, and they will cover this spread and move on to Friday's game because of Iowa's recent struggles. They looked out of touch against Nebraska in their last game. They struggle on defense, and that is where Ohio State can attack, especially through their guard play. If Murray struggles to shoot the ball, Iowa has very little options to get hot besides him. Take Ohio State to cover. Iowa wants to get up and down the court, but Ohio State is much more comfortable scoring in the half court. For Ohio State to win, this game will be played under 150 total points because of these styles of play. The under is 5-0 in the Hawkeyes' last 5 neutral site games. Take the under on Thursday. SMU versus UCF. The Knights have won 2 of their last 3 games. They have played well offensively, scoring 72 points per game. They've taken advantage of their opportunities at the charity stripe, making over 84% of their free throws in their last 3 games. They do a good job finding the open man, and they're very aggressive on the offensive glass, which will give them more scoring chances. They also cut back on their turnovers in their last 3 games and won't give the Mustangs a lot of easy scoring opportunities. The Mustangs aren't very good defensively, and they play worse on the road, giving up more than 80 points per game. So expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Knights in this game. The Mustangs have lost 5 of their last 6 games and 6 straight road games. They have struggled offensively on the road, scoring less than 70 points per game. Their ball movement isn't very good on the road, and they don't rebound the ball as well as the Knights, so don't expect them to get a lot of extra scoring chances against them. They've also been careless with the ball on the road, which will lead to easy scoring opportunities for the Knights, who averaged more than 9 steals per game in their last 3 games. The Knights are very good defensively, and they were dominant in recent games, holding their last 3 opponents under 55 points per game, and won't have trouble keeping SMU's offense in check. Go with UCF to cover the spread. Our team pick is UCF Knights -7 points. These two put up a combined 138 points in their lone meeting this season and have combined to average 140.8 points per game over their last 5 games each. And that is with both teams shooting under 44% over that stretch. They both shot better when they last played. Both the Mustangs and Knights have scored over 70 points in 5 of their last 8 respective games. Combined, these two have had 36 of their games go over this season, including their first meeting, which cleared by 9. SMU ranks 61st in Ken Palm's tempo ratings and is a team that could explode for a bundle of points if they get going. The over is 9-1 in the Mustangs' last 10 games at a neutral site. Take the over 137.5 points. Colorado versus UCLA. The Bruins may have swept the 2-game regular season series straight up, but they went 1-1 ATS versus Colorado. UCLA was favored in both, covering -12 at home back in mid-January and losing as -7 faves at Colorado at the end of February. When they last played just a couple of weeks back, the Buffaloes shot 33.3% overall and still wound up within 4 points at the final buzzer. Colorado out-rebounded UCLA 40-35 in that game, with 14 on the offensive end. So, the Buffaloes will get second-chance opportunities. It's just a matter of converting on them to keep things close once again. The Buffaloes should have gained some confidence from that game, despite the final result. They proved they can at the very least hang with them, even if they shoot terribly. I also think Colorado is energized from that first-round win, and these things tend to carry over. If they can get off to a better start than they did on Wednesday, then they'll be in decent shape. They won't win, but they are 5-1 ATS in their last 6 overall, and they will keep things close enough. Take the Buffaloes +9 points. Their 2 matchups this season have a combined average of 119 points per game, with both of those matchups going under the total by a wide margin. In fact, the under is 6-0 in the last 6 meetings between the two. Between them, they have had 34 games go under this season. Colorado's offense will do enough to keep things low on their end. Over their last 17 games, they have scored under 70 points in 12 of them, with 8 of those games at 65 or fewer points. The Bruins aren't afraid to slum it either, having scored 70 or less in 6 of their last 12 games. The under is 6-0 in Colorado's last 6 versus a team with a winning record. Same for the Bruins. Take the under 133.5 points.